Alright, I'm going to introduce you to my new beast to go with the rest of the family. I'm going to call this the OakSmoke for obvious reasons. This used to be an old shitty wine barrel that was laying around the backyard for a long time, and I thought I'd spruce it up and got a bit of inspiration from the awesome people on the Whiskey and Wine Barrel Smokers group on Facebook. There's some awesome ideas on there, so I thought I'd take some of them and make something of it. So I'll give you a bit of a walk around in a sec, but what I basically did was sand down the barrel completely, including the hoops. And once that was all done, I painstakingly drilled, firstly about 245 holes around the hoops. I had a bit of an issue because as much as I wanted them to be even, as in the screws to be even, obviously the staves aren't even. You've got some big ones, some small ones. So I took the punt, and you can see as you go around it that there are some which are quite close to the edge. That one, for example, that one's pretty much dead center, that one's on the edge. I don't think it matters that much because the rest of the screws are going to pick up the stave and the hoop somewhere along the line. So I preferred glamour over practicality, I suppose, and that's the risk I took. Then I painted it with just a high gloss enamel, and then I screwed in the zinc plated hex head screws afterwards, and I think that came up quite well with the silver on the black. Then I cut it open, and I just pre-drilled a couple of millimetre hole, and enough to fit the jigsaw blade in. Obviously I pre-drew a line around it to make sure it was nice and even. Popped her open, sanded it all back again, and then I started fitting off different things. So handle, hooks, exhaust pipe, bottle opener, another handle. I learnt my lesson with these shitty little handles. That one's broken already, so I've got another one coming. Trapdoor. The access to the, and I'm just at the end of a cook, so it's a bit warm in here, but top level, bottom level access, that's just an old Korean barbecue in there, where the air vents go into, which I'll talk about in a second. Cut a hole out the bottom of it, and just a charcoal pan on top of that. That's the middle rack, and there's a top rack in there which I'll get to in a sec, and it's surrounded by sandstone pavers, which I think do the same thing as fire bricks. They haven't exploded on me yet, and as you can see there's about 1.5 inches of water down there. How do I get the water out, you ask? Glad you asked. There's a pop-up waste which I can't show you because it's hidden, which I've put to the bottom of the barrel, and when it cooks over I can just press it and lean in through the top and press it, drain the water all out the bottom. Close her up again. That tap, now clearly I'm not a plumber, because you'll note that it's not designed to be on that way. I have been picked up on that, and that's fine, because an awesome person suggested to me that I play around with a backflow valve and force it in there so it doesn't do what it's supposed to do and doesn't prevent water going in the wrong way. But having said that, it doesn't suit the style of the barrel, I don't think, so I'm getting another gate valve, just a 15mm gate valve, which will do the trick. So that'll be on volume 2. Go around the back, more screws. This thermometer, decent size. I didn't realise it'd be that big, but it is, and I'm quite happy with it actually. It's the Flaming Coal CT040, and it's very accurate. I had an Inkbird digital probe in the barrel this morning when I did some ribs, and it was within, plus or minus 3 or 4 Fahrenheit, so that's pretty cool. Copper pipes for the air vents with gate valves. People say, why did you use gate valves and not ball valves? Ball valves are a quarter of a turn and it's fully open. Gate valves is about bloody, I don't know, 15 turns. I think they just look better. Not as practical, but they look better. A few people have said that this whole thing looks a bit like a steampunk type theme. I had to Google what that is, and I tend to agree. So Google steampunk. It's a whole fashion apparently. Copper and brass and lots of weird shit. Anyway, YouTube's awesome because it taught me how to solder. Not that I'm the best at soldering, but it did the job. Not that I really needed to for this part, because this is only air, obviously, to control the temperature. Copper handles. All right, we go inside. Now, the chain to hold her open. I was going to use, what are they called? Gas struts. I was going to use gas struts, and I reckon they would have been quite practical, but wouldn't have looked as good. So I think I'm going to keep it where it is. Inside, I'm not going to touch it because it's still hot coming off the back of a decent rib cook. You'll see the back of that tap is a copper hoop, and that copper hoop is my sprinkler system. There's about 60 holes on the bottom side of that, and I do believe you've got to give this thing a fair watering down before you start a cook, just to keep it safe. So that allows you to do that, provided you get a hose on the back of it, obviously. And if I'm doing a longer cook, I can imagine that there might be cause to trickle some water down. It won't go into the actual, I don't know if you can see down there, it won't go into the fire pit or the coal pit. It'll just trickle down the sides of the walls, which is pretty awesome. And to hold on the grill grates, I've just got standard brackets. Hinge on the back for the lid. That's pretty much it. I'm happy with it. It's an awesome rig. And gasket seal around the lid, obviously. There's no leaks. So there you go. That's it. Thanks for watching.